challenge of like figuring it out? Like, how do we do this without him?
So you remind me of a funny story. I'm going to share it with you. Um, so a long time ago, we're in Jacksonville. We're playing the New England Patriots, and Tom Brady shows up on the injury report, and we're like, oh my God, he might be out. And so Gus Bradley, head coach, comes in. He goes, what? We want them at their best. We want Tom Brady to play. And I was like, no, we don't. We don't want them at their best. No, there's nothing enjoyable from a personal standpoint. Like we're always going to go to work. We're always going to try to find a way to put our guys in the best situation possible. But the most painful thing is to see a guy like Nick Bosa, who I thought had a perfect offseason. He had a perfect training camp, and he was playing at a Defensive Player of the Year level. He was playing at an extremely high level, probably the best he's played in the last couple of years. And for it to end short for him like that after doing 2 games and a quarter, it sucks for him. So don't feel sorry for anyone in this building. We get to show up. We get to watch film. We get to go to work. We get to go on the grass and try to figure it out. That's always going to be the fun part. What's sad is that he's not. He's going to be in rehab, and that's where my heart goes.
Philosophically, as a guy who's been a head coach, and we've just seen, so is it just bigger, faster, stronger? Is it sometimes turf? Could you put a finger on just how it seems like injuries are more prevalent right now than they ever have been in the game?
I have a lot of thoughts. Way too long for this press conference, but we can visit on that one day. But it is they're I argue that I don't know if the body was meant to have as much torque and power and the tendons, but I'm not a doctor, so.
He would lack for confidence necessarily, but what does a play like what Upton Stout did at the end of the game on Sunday do for him, just in terms of kind of proof of concept of the work that he's putting in?
I think he's got a tremendous amount of confidence. I think anytime a young man makes a play like that, of course it's going to add confidence. But I don't think he's short of confidence. I don't think that play would have made or break his confidence. He shows up every day. He shows up with intent to work. He's learning. He asked the other day, what do I need to do to get better? I was like, you just need to continue getting reps. He's so smart. He's such a student of the game. He's going to start to learn the tendencies of offenses and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to attack. And you trust that with 10,000 reps, he's going to be elite in the things that we ask him to be great at.
Have you had a chance to talk to Nick, and how is his mindset? I know it's got to be challenging when he's gone through this 3 times, but what can you glean from what your conversation was like?
Nick's great. He's in good spirits. I visited with him a couple of times, and I know I think he's off. I think he's gone getting his work done. But you just, what do you say? You just listen, right? He's devastated, like anyone else would be. You put in so much work. To be a part of a team and locker room and to help your team win football games, and then you're done. So I can't empathetically speak for him, but sympathetically, and just feeling how heavy he is in terms of like he wants to be here. This is not a relief for him, and so like I said, with all the things that we have to do within the building, that's always going to be a blessing, and for him not to be here to be a part of that, that's I feel for him.
Just one more. Demo's pretty vocal in the offseason about stepping into that CB1 role and taking on the opposing team's wide receiver 1. Looking at the matchup, Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side, how does he match up, and maybe do you just think about it more as like a collective going up against a receiver like that?
I think Demo matches up with anybody in football. He's aggressive at the line of scrimmage. He is physical. He's very smart in route recognition and all that stuff. So whoever lines up to Demo's side I feel like we're in a really good position. I feel like we're at an advantage, with Demo on the field. So Demo's always going to give whoever lines up on his side problems.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
or anything, but how does Brock look this week?
He's getting better. He's definitely progressing. I think he's improved for sure from last week, and still kind of taking it day by day. But he's definitely made improvements.
I think Ricky played all but 2 snaps on Sunday. How impressive is that aspect of his game, his stamina, and is that something that young players, don't always have coming into the league?
Yeah, it's extremely impressive. It's one of those things you don't even realize till the game's over. And it's pretty rare for a receiver to play that many snaps. But it's just a testament to him, how he works. How he's been, stacking practices and building up his conditioning. I think it's also a testament to his mental component to the game and how he prepares. And he doesn't miss anything. He doesn't need to come out of the game for any reason. He's ready for all situations, and so it makes Ricky a really good player. So, really proud of him for doing that in the game, and he wants to be out there. So he's got kind of that Christian mindset where he doesn't want to come out of the game.
Seeing if
this
you
might seem like an odd question, but between Mac and Brock, this could be a physical game with the way that the Jaguars' defense is set up. Who do you feel like you're more confident in taking a hard hit between the two of them?
I'm confident in both those guys. They're both extremely tough. Whoever has to play, we really don't worry about it because that's why they're here. It's why they're our guys. It's because they are tough, and they don't let that stuff bother them. They don't worry about it. So whoever we need to be playing in the game, we're going to have full confidence in them for sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed this, but during the 2-minute drive at the end of the game, I think you might have huddled once or twice. During one of those huddles, Ricky Pearsall and Kendrick Bourne are dancing with one another. Did you notice that? And B, what does that kind of tell you about that group of guys?
I didn't notice it in the game. I noticed it in pregame because they're just dancing the whole pregame. It tells you that they have a way in their minds of being loose and having fun playing the game. And I think that allows them to play freely and allows them to play their best. Clearly they're not guys who are affected by the moment. It's not too big for them. They're themselves. They're out there having fun. They're competing, and it's just pretty cool to see the authenticity from those guys in those big moments.
Christian has 13 carries for 7 yards in the red zone. It just hasn't happened. What does the film show? Why you guys struggling there?
It's never one thing. It's always tougher running the ball in the red zone. There's more bodies down there, so that's the starting point. But we're close on a few things last week. We really were. We missed a block here. We maybe don't make the best cut on one run, so it's never one thing, and it's a collective effort down there. We want to run the ball better in the red zone. We are continuing to work at it, so it's not a matter of of intent or anything like that. So to answer with one thing, it's not. We did have a couple we were close. We were just a guy off, and we got to get better, and that's going to help our red zone.
How does Travis Hunter look as a cornerback on tape?
Yeah, he's a really good athlete. He's confident. He's got length. He looks the part to me, and it's impressive that he's playing both ways and out there competing on both sides of the ball. So he's a really good player. That's why they drafted him where they did. And so he's a guy you got to be aware of.
Ricky was talking about a little bit about the stamina, and he was flabbergasted that Hunter could do 40-some snaps on offense and then do 40-some snaps on defense, and do all that running.
Right.
And then there's the whole mental part of it. As a coordinator, how amazing is this that he's doing that?
It's very unique. It's what we loved about him coming out of college. He's a competitor. It's pretty rare to see guys like that. I've never seen a player like that who wants to play every snap, doesn't want to come out of the game, offense and defense. It's just a guy who's clearly wired the right way. He's wired to be a football player, and that's what's going to make him a good player.
Best defenses take the ball away, and this defense has got 9 takeaways in 3 games. When you're watching it, what does it look like? Is there any common denominators to what they're doing?
Yeah, you said it. It's a mindset, first of all. It's something clearly that they preach. There's guys who are very active. To me, it starts with the front. It's guys who get to the quarterback. It's guys who are disruptive, which creates disruption for the quarterback on the other end. Can create bad decisions, can create bad throws, can create tips at the line of scrimmage. It's all those things. The other thing they've done really well is they've gotten offenses into some disadvantage or some bad situations. Second and longs, third and longs, where those guys can really tee off and really be the aggressor. And so when you get offenses in bad situations, you attack, and that's when you create turnovers. So they've done a great job of doing that. That's why they're one of the best defenses right now. So
you have a couple of ex-Jaguars in the locker room. I mean, is there anything that a Mac Jones or a Jordan Jefferson can give you that you can't get from watching film?
Maybe sometimes, maybe just knowing about a guy or knowing about, little things about a person and the type of player they are. But at the end of the day, it's a new coaching staff, it's a new scheme, it's a new culture. So you're not really banking on, anything that you don't see on film being something that's going to help you prepare. But it's always, every now and then you gather something from those conversations. Yeah.
What have you seen from Demarcus Robinson this week?
D-Rob's been awesome to have him back out there. He had a great camp and made a lot of progress. And obviously, you miss him when he's not there. But he stepped back in. He looks good. He's in really good shape. All the things we loved about him: his hands, his physicality. And I hope he's ready to step up and help us this week. So good. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Nick.
How you doing?
Nick, how good?
Good.
What'd you tell them about Jacksonville? All the inside information you know.
Yeah.
While you're here.
Definitely talked to some people, but got a lot of respect for those guys over there, and they really have the same roster. They added a few guys, but they're doing a good job on defense, so really going to be a challenge.
That defensive front line just...
Oh, they're really good. Got to go against them last year during scout team and had some competitive days, so really have a lot of respect for 41 and 44, and then obviously Eric on the inside and D. Ham on the inside. So they have a good front there, and yeah, they do a good job. They work hard, and I've seen that firsthand, so I got a lot of respect for them.
So from Sunday to then Wednesday to then today, have you seen progression of feeling better based on the re-aggravation? And if so, if you could give a detailed account of like how much better you feel.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think every week people deal with stuff, and then each day you just assess where you're at. And having played 5 years in the NFL, I kind of know where I need to be at, and I'm definitely happy with my progress and the medical staff and everybody. So really just taking it day by day and attacking each day and doing what I can do.
How much are you doing in practice, man?
A lot. Feel good in the warm-up and everything, and then going through practice, hitting all the throws, routes on air and everything. So feel good. Definitely just like any other week, you're going through the week, getting ready for the game plans as a backup or a starter. So feel comfortable doing both, and I'll be ready to play.
Your expectation is you will be available in some way.
Yeah.
You guys got Demarcus Robinson back this week. What does Demarcus bring to the mix?
Yeah, he's awesome. D-Rob made a lot of plays in the spring and throughout fall camp, and then obviously was here in and out of the building and stuff, but he's ready to go, and really excited for him. He's played a lot of football, and he always makes plays no matter what team he's on, so I'm excited for him to make plays on this team.
A question about Demarcus Robinson as a quarterback, specifically from your perspective. What is a quarterback like about a wide receiver like Demarcus Robinson?
Yeah. Really just a friendly receiver. Does a great job coming back to the ball, getting open on routes versus man getting open, and then versus zone, just trying to get to his depth and get open. So he's done a good job. Like I said, he's seen a lot of different defenses and played against a lot of different corners. So he knows what to do. And when he goes out there and plays fast, he's a really good receiver. So I'm excited to see him out there, and he's doing great.
Once you see enough film of them to be able to form any kind of opinion on how Travis Hunter is as a defensive back?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very talented player. Obviously doing a little bit of both. I've watched both sides of the film, so he does a good job on offense and does a good job on defense. So really talented player, like I said, and Tyson on the other side does a great job as well. I've obviously gone against him a lot, so I have a lot of respect for him dating back to college. So they got a good group out there, and number 2 is a really good player that they added this year. He seems to be like the top guy on their defense communication-wise, and he has had a great career so far, and it looks like it's continuing in Jacksonville.
Being with Trevor Lawrence, you guys have a lot in common. How does, from your perspective, I guess, how does he deal with the scrutiny that comes with being, first-round pick, number 1 pick in his case? I think there's people might be a little disappointed, like, oh, I thought he was supposed to be John Elway at this point. Like, I guess, how does he deal with, not meeting those crazy expectations?
Let me call him and ask real quick. No, I mean, he's great. I love Trevor. I know what you're saying, though. Like, Trevor's always been the guy that everybody's chasing from my age group. Just he's younger than me by a year or whatever, but he was always the top guy, and he is. He's a great athlete, great quarterback, great thrower, and everywhere he's gone, he's rose to the challenge. So I have a lot of respect for Trevor, and being in the room with him last year, we became really close friends, to be honest, and he works really hard every day, and I have a lot of respect for Trevor, and I know he's playing a lot better, and that's what I expect because he works really hard and puts a lot of time into it.
People always talk about how sophisticated Shanahan's offense is, but last week Klay kind of talked about how much of an educator, and like when you're in the film room, it's like if everyone's doing their job, it makes it really easy on you. What can you say about that? And is it really that complicated, or it's like, okay, when you're with Shanahan, it's like if everyone's doing their job, then you know what the play is?
I hope I know what the play is. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like it is a very group-oriented thing, and a lot of offenses you have multiple people communicating to you or whatever, which is great. And we have Klay and Mick and everybody, but Kyle does a great job early in the week, like, this is the play, this is the purpose of the play, this is how I see it playing out, and if it's not this certain look, then play it out and follow your rules. So he definitely does a good job. Just it comes down to communication and being honest and open about it, and he's a great communicator and a great coach, and that's why you see success. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do on our offense. We're still young in the season, and we know that, and we're all striving to get to a little bit better. So just been really blessed to learn from him, honestly, like just sitting back in my chair, listening to what he says. Like, he has a PhD in football, or probably more than a PhD in football. So it's been good to learn from him.
Super important journalism here. On the TV broadcast, I think they said that you own upwards of 75 suits. Is that accurate? And where did that come from?
They added a few to that number, but but I probably have like between like 60 and 50 probably. But yeah, I like suits, and I've always worn them. We had to wear them in college, so that's where it started. So I had a couple each year there, and then I've always worn a suit in the NFL. I just feel like that's what you're supposed to do, because you're going to work, and that's kind of how I go about it. But yeah, I like suits.
Do you do the thing like you make sure you're not wearing the same one twice in the same season, that kind of thing?
Kind of. I'll rewear. I'm not too picky. If I like it and it fits, what my mindset is that week, then I'll usually wear it. But yeah, I got a lot of different suits, and the person who creates them is very talented, so I'm happy to have him on my side.
Clarify what you mean. You matched your mindset. Like, are there certain color? Can you give me an example of that?
I don't know, just like how I'm feeling that morning. I just pick my suit or the night before and go out there and roll it out there.
Anti-sock?
It depends. I have like the little socks, like when you're wearing the no-show, so I still got socks on, even though it doesn't look like it. But I don't know, that's kind of old school, like when you have your sock like all the way pulled up. Like my dad used to come home from work, and he's got like the lines from the socks, I'm like, I can't be doing that, so usually just low socks.
Sorry. Fire engine red suit in week 1. Where does that rank?
That's one of my cool ones, but I think they're all cool, so hopefully I can keep wearing cool ones. But like I said, it's all about like showing up to work, and that's how I feel you should come to the game. So it's something that I learned in college, like I said, and it's important to me.
More football questions.
But you've never been grilled like this before.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a lot of non-football questions, but it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
About the junior.
Brock, how's the week been going back for you with your toe and everything?
It's been good. Really like where I'm at with the progress with it healing up and feeling better and dropping back, throwing, and like where I'm at. So it's been good.
Playing Sunday for sure.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm taking it day by day still, but feel a lot better. So
you were in the correct me if I'm wrong, but in the celebration after Eddie hit the field goal, you were kind of jumping around, with your group and everything. I mean, it looked like a pretty healthy toe, based on that celebration.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be feeling fairly confident in that toe.
Yeah. No, I liked my progress last week with where I was at and in terms of feeling better, getting better. And so it was just a day-by-day decision. It's the same thing this week, but, I mean, it's no secret. Like, it's been 2.5 weeks or so, and just overall, man, my toes healed up. It's gotten better, and so when Eddie hit the game-winning field goal, yeah, I could jump a little bit. So I was good enough to do that.
How's Demarcus Robinson been back in practice?
Awesome. Just having him back out and obviously seeing, what he had done at camp, and it's the same thing. He comes back out and is feeling fresh and looks great and great hands. So excited to have him back and in the game plan.
Brock, what have you been able to do the last 2 days? I mean, you've been limited on the injury report, but do you feel like you've been able to do enough stuff out there during practice to get you best prepared for Sunday's game?
Definitely. Just dropping back and throwing and feeling good about, playing the position of quarterback. And, for me, it's still a day-by-day thing, going up to game time and see how I feel. But I really do think that it's been good progress, good work, and I just feel better overall just with my body and mentally of attacking this game plan and being ready if I'm able to go. So.
To kind of follow up on what you just said, the mental aspect of it, hypothetically you play on Sunday. Given that, how much of a mental challenge do you feel like, or mental adversity do you feel like you'll need to overcome to go out there and fully play like yourself and not, handicap your foot at all to make sure that you are, showing up as Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing, I'm going to be feeling good. That's all I know, and if I'm not ready come game time, then I'm not ready, So when I step out in the field, I want to play quarterback, just like Brock Purdy has always played quarterback. And so, that's how I'm looking at it, and I don't want to go out there thinking about anything else on my body if it's not feeling right. So if I'm playing, I'm going to be feeling good, and I'll leave it at that.
Too detailed, but what's a bigger test, like doing a sprint rollout or simply throwing and doing a toe drag on your follow-through?
In terms of
how you feel with your toe?
To be honest, I'm not going to really get into, all the little details of it and whatnot, but I will say, I feel better. So, yeah.
Situations where you need to be 100% healthy or you can make it worse?
Honestly, it's just like any other injury. If you hurt something, then you can go back out and there's a chance or a possibility of it happening again. That's the nature of the sport that we play. But, for me, like I said, if I'm stepping out in the field, I want to feel really good and not thinking about anything else in terms of, am I going to hurt it? Am I not? If I'm on the field, I'm not going to be thinking about that.
Here's the tough one. What do you think about Mac Jones's suit collection? Do you have a favorite?
I think the first week, the red suit, going into Seattle, I saw him come off the bus, and I was like, no way. Like, this dude is funny. So I love all of the suits, and he's got good taste. So.
When you prepare to face the Jags, what do you see when you pop that film on? I mean, there looks like a really good defensive team. What kind of stands out?
Yeah, their first 3 games, man, they've played together, tough defense. You could see that they're all playing with the chip on their shoulder, and it's a team that is hungry, and I feel like they've found ways to win together, and I mean, that's the NFL, man. You got to end up finding a way to win. It doesn't matter how, but at the end of the day, they've both offensively and defensively have come together and they've won games, and so I really respect them for that. And obviously, good front, really good front, really good linebackers. They're secondary. They got talent, so it's going to be a really good challenge for us, and I'm excited for it.
You're challenging How's it been just to build chemistry with Kendrick Bourne?
It's been great. I threw him a ball this week, and we were all excited that, like for me to throw to him and continue to build this new chemistry. We were both really excited about that. But I really do obviously like what I've seen on film, what he's done in the games with Mac. Like, he's a dependable guy. He knows the system with Kyle. He's been in it for years. And so for him to come back and bring the spark and energy for our offense, like I'm all about. So hopefully we can find ways to get him the ball and keep him going. Thanks, guys.